All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to unpack something absolutely wild. How microscopic technology, stuff you literally can't even see, is completely rewriting the rules of modern geopolitics. We hear about the tech world every single day. But beneath all the apps and the algorithms you use, there's a physical reality that is completely reshaping global power. It's a high-stakes struggle, and it's playing out not with armies or tanks, but with incredibly thin silicon wafers, rare earth minerals, and some of the most insanely complex machines human beings have ever built. Let's kick this off with a pretty crucial historical parallel. Think about the last 50 years. For half a century, global geopolitics was basically defined by one thing: where the oil was buried, right? Nations built their entire alliances, fought massive wars, and structured whole economies around getting access to crude oil. But the next 50 years? Well, they're going to be defined entirely by who controls the chips. The absolute foundation of our economic growth and national security has completely shifted from fossil fuels straight over to semiconductors. And the stakes really just boil down to this one idea: semiconductors are more important than oil. It sounds like an exaggeration, but make no mistake. If the world stops spinning without these chips, our modern economy doesn't just slow down, it literally grinds to a dead halt. So we really need to figure out exactly who holds the keys to this tech, because right now, the control over that technology is concentrated in a way that is, frankly, pretty terrifying. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First up, the new global currency. Then, we'll look at the ultimate choke points. Third, the AI demand shock. Fourth, the US-China Tech War. And we'll wrap up with the race for resilience. All right, diving right into Section 1, the new global currency. You know how ancient China held an absolute, fiercely protected monopoly on the secret of making silk? I mean, it was a fabric so coveted it was worth its weight in gold, and stealing the secret was punishable by death? Well, today's world runs on a new kind of silk, and it is infinitely more complex. Back then, controlling silk let China project soft power across entire continents. Today, controlling semiconductor technology dictates who sets the pace for everything: global innovation, economic prosperity, and yep, military dominance. And to really wrap your head around the scale we're talking about, consider this. The smallest components on today's chips are 50,000 times smaller than a human hair. 50,000. They are actually smaller than a virus. It's almost absurd to even think about, right? Yet these nanoscopic transistors, which basically just act like tiny light switches controlling electricity, are driving an industry that's projected to hit $1 trillion by 2030. It is quite literally the smallest tech imaginable, powering the absolute largest global forces. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the ultimate choke points. Here is where things get really fragile. This whole supply chain, it's basically a massive, perfectly choreographed house of cards spread across the entire globe into highly specialized, isolated steps. Just to make the chip inside the phone you're probably holding right now, you need rare earth minerals mostly refined in China, the cutting-edge designs usually coming out of the US, hyper-specialized machinery built in the Netherlands, and then final fabrication, which is heavily concentrated in East Asia. If there's a hiccup in just one of these nodes, it doesn't just delay things, it can paralyze the whole global system. Let's look at Step 3 for a second, just to show you how crazy this is. The entire world relies heavily on this one Dutch company called ASML. They build what are called extreme ultraviolet or EUV lithography machines. These things use light that doesn't even naturally occur on Earth to print microscopic patterns onto silicon wafers. And get this. Each machine costs around $400 million, weighs as much as an adult blue whale, and has internal parts that accelerate 4 times faster than a fighter jet. It's a hyper-specialized bottleneck that literally no one else on the planet has been able to replicate. But wait, it gets even more precarious when you reach the final step. Take a look at this. Over 90% of the world's absolute most advanced chips come from just one company, TSMC, sitting on the island of Taiwan. They run these things called gigafabs, just ridiculously massive manufacturing sites. So whether it's the chip in your smart fridge or the processors running OpenAI's data centers, practically the entire digital economy rests squarely on the shoulders of this one single entity. And that pressure cooker leads us to Section 3, the AI demand shock. So just when the supply chain was already stretched thin, the artificial intelligence boom hits and changes absolutely everything. Generative AI doesn't just need chips, it demands these hyper-advanced specialized GPUs from companies like NVIDIA to chew through oceans of data. We're not talking about people upgrading their home PCs anymore. We are looking at this insatiable infrastructure race that is rapidly approaching $1 trillion. And these fabrication facilities, which, only have so much physical space, are running at absolute maximum capacity 24/7 just trying to keep up. With all that demand and such tight supply, we arrive at Section 4, the US-China Tech War. What we're looking at right now is basically Cold War 2.0, and it is a textbook mutual hostage situation between the world's two biggest superpowers. Both sides are playing their hands, strategically leveraging their unique choke points. The US, they dominate advanced chip design, and they've been restricting the export of those high-end AI chips and that ASML machinery to slow down rivals. But on the flip side, China controls nearly 90% of the world's refined rare earth minerals, the actual physical dirt you need to build this tech, and they are rapidly exporting their own digital infrastructure globally. And speaking of that infrastructure, we have to talk about the digital Silk Road. Now, the US has historically leveraged its own global networks, like the SWIFT banking system, right? Well, China is rapidly expanding its influence by building and financing 5G networks, undersea cables, and data centers across more than 80 different countries. This touches nations representing a massive 75% of the global population. They are essentially laying down the digital plumbing for the modern economy, which obviously creates some very deep strategic dependencies. Because of all these intersecting vulnerabilities, we are currently watching this incredibly fragile chips for rare earths truce play out. Both sides are trying to balance the threat of severe economic pain. The US wants to restrict those high-end AI chips, but they really need China's processed rare earths. To put that in perspective, just one US F-35 stealth fighter jet requires 417 kilograms of rare earth elements to function. Meanwhile, China really needs those advanced Western chips to scale up its own AI ambitions. So it's this tense tactical pause built entirely on mutually assured economic disruption. Let's move into our final section, the race for resilience. I'm sure you remember the brutal supply chain shocks during the COVID pandemic, right? Automakers were losing literally billions of dollars simply because they couldn't get the basic chips they needed for car screens. Well, that woke nations up to the terrifying fragility of relying so heavily on East Asia. It kicked off this massive global race for domestic manufacturing. Since 2022, we've seen sweeping legislation passed to bring production back home, trying to build secure, localized supply chains as we barrel toward that trillion-dollar industry mark by 2030. And the money being thrown at this is, frankly, unprecedented. Governments are just pouring hundreds of billions into subsidies. You've got the US launching the $52 billion CHIPS Act to build new fabs out in the Arizona desert. The EU tossed in 43 billion euros. China has state funds well over $50 billion, pushing for total self-sufficiency. And India is putting up $10 billion to become the next big manufacturing hub. Everybody is trying to nearshore, friendshore, and basically rebuild this impossibly complex ecosystem in their own backyards. Why is everyone panicking and moving all this money so fast? Because the alternative is, well, it's unthinkable. If all these diversification efforts fail, and a real geopolitical conflict erupts over Taiwan, which again is the center of the advanced chip universe, economic analysts estimate it would cost the global economy a staggering $10 trillion. 10 trillion! The very fabric of our modern lives would just pause. So as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with this one thought. As the world starts splitting up into these parallel competing tech ecosystems, whoever manages to control the microscopic silicon is ultimately going to control our global future. The pipes of the 21st century are being laid down as we speak, and the race to own them is undoubtedly the most important invisible war of our time. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Stay curious, keep looking at the bigger picture, and I'll see you in the next explainer.